Let's talk about another new product that we released at the show. Glitter, of course, has been really popular. It's always going to be a popular thing. And one of the things that I like when it comes to glitter, of course, is going to be, oh, there's my little Mr. bottle. Oh, it's empty anyway. It's going to be rock candy. So rock candy distressed stickles, this is actually a clear glitter, and it's always been sold in this small bottle. And when I use it, I like to spread this out in a thin layer. So I found that when I'm teaching class, a lot of the students, they don't like to go in with their fingers and spread it around. So we've released rock candy distressed stickles in a acrylic paint jar. So if you want to go and paint it over paper or collage or canvas, you can pick this up and we can go right onto paper and you can just brush that glitter glue right on there. It makes it super, super easy. And you can just let it dry and you'll have just glittered paper. That's pretty easy. So this is the same stuff together. But we've also released dry glitters at this show. So we released a lot of our Stickles colors, our metallics, in dry glitter with a little shaker top. And of course, I wanted to release rock candy dry. Cool thing about rock candy is that it is a clear glitter, but it doesn't have any iridescence in it at all. So when you're talking about the clear Stickles, they have like an orange hue, a yellow hue, green, or blue. This is just gonna be like glass or sugar. But another thing that makes rock candy very different is it's got different particle sizes. So it's got big chunky glitter, fine glitter, and glitter dust in there as well. So it really gives it a nice shimmer effect. And you can apply it over a project using whatever adhesive you want. We can work with glossy accents. I like to use glue and seal with it just because it's easy, but really any wet adhesive that you want to put on, you can. So here I can just go in maybe on the bottom of this card and I can just brush some of this around, just kind of be pretty sloppy with it. You don't need a lot of glue at all. You can even work with like our new sticky embossing powder, that would work. And I'll just take that, let me just get a piece of scrap paper, take our rock candy, pour this right over the top, and we just shake it on down. And that's what we'll end up with. Yeah, it's really cool. So right now that white that you see underneath, that's gonna dry clear because that's our glue, but that sparkly that we get, that's what's rock candy. That's really great. And of course it's in a really big wide mouth jar, so it's easy to get the glitter back in, because that's another thing that frustrates me about glitter. Yeah, they put it in a great little package, but that's great, but I can't use it because I can't put it back in the jar. So this makes it really easy to put that in.
And you don't have to heat set that or anything?
You don't. No, you could. I mean, one of the great things about rock candy as well is this type of glitter is heat stable. So if you wanted to dry the glue underneath, you could use your heat tool, but you don't need to. Yeah, just let it dry. It's just that kind of white film that you see right now was just from the glue and seal. It goes on white but dries clear. So as long as you're using a clear drying glue, that's the effect that you get. Really pretty. Another thing I love about the clear glitter is just how it sparkles. So if you're a fan of that translucent look, you could have rock candy in 42 colors because we can colorize this with alcohol ink. So if you love, let's say, lettuce and you want translucent lettuce glitter, you can take rock candy, pour it in a little Ziploc bag, put a couple of drops of alcohol ink in there, mix it from the outside of the bag, and leave the bag open to dry or pour it out until it dries. It takes about 10 or 15 seconds, put it back in. And the difference between this and say like a regular glitter is it's not gonna be opaque, it will always stay translucent. So you're still gonna get... No, the alcohol ink flashes off. So when you first pour it out, it's gonna look like clumpy sand, it'll be kind of wet sand, but as soon as the alcohol ink flashes off, it just goes right back to this kind of glitter.
So at the winter show, you're gonna sell it in the UD containers?
Listen, you heard that. I wanted that so bad, I did. Yeah, because really when we started doing, we had our meeting and we were talking about doing dry stickles, and that was the whole idea of doing that line in the shaker jar, and I said, so guys, could we do rock candy as well? And they're like, look, it doesn't always have to be about you. I said, I get that, but I really like rock candy, and I think people would love, if we're gonna do dry glitter, if that's kind of, the gloves are off, we're doing dry glitter, we should do this as one of the dry ones as well. I said, but I don't want it in the little shaker because I'm gonna need more of it because I'm gonna use it on the trees as snow and all of that, and it's got bigger chunks. And so they said, okay, what jar do you want it in? I said, I love the UD jar because I love the big wide mouth jar. So they said, okay, well, we'll do the 3 ounce. I'm like, can we do it in the pound? And they're like, don't push your luck. So I think that if people say you should have it in the pound, yeah. I mean,
well, especially if you're going to use alcohol ink, suddenly you have
It's the same thing with Ultra
48
Thick. You know,
colors.
there's people that would be fine with clear UD in this, which we sell it that way. But there's also people that want a pound of clear UD. Just make it available, is all I say. You say that, yeah. We should start a campaign, so by winter, we'll have rock candy cotton. Yeah, because, I mean, really, there's just nothing like it. The way it sparkles, and that's simply because of all the different particle sizes.
With using
That's
it,
what makes it such a different glitter.
I'm sorry,
It's all the
using it with
particles.
fluid seal, is that not going to rub off like a lot of glitter?
No.
It's pretty
yeah.
well.
Yeah. Well, we also have another, we have a lot of different things, but we have a new embossing powder. I don't know if I have it out. I know Wendy was demoing it earlier. There we go. And it's called sticky embossing powder. And what's cool about sticky embossing powder is it's just that. It's embossing powder that gets sticky when you heat it up. So when you go to apply it to a surface, you can stamp in any of your embossing ink, pour this powder on a surface, shake it off, and when you heat it up, it will get shiny, but that means it's also sticky, and that will allow you to put glitter, leafing, foil, or even micro beads on it. And the trick to making it permanent is after you put it on, and you like put your micro beads or your glitter on there, you're going to go and heat it a second time, and that's going to reheat that glue and make it really stick and seal those pieces on there.
Better than the old kind.
Yes, yeah. It is a little stickier than the stuff I used to have. Yeah.
No, there
It's
was
pretty
some
similar
other
though.
brand that
It's
was-
really nice. One other thing, let me see, there we go. This is another thing that I was happy we finally did, which is an embossing dabber. I'm happy we sell it now because I've had our embossing ink and our dabber for a while. It's really cool because it's a little thicker viscosity than what you would use for your re-inker. So it's a little bit thicker. It's not like perfect medium or Versamark or anything. It's still embossing ink. But having it in a dabber will allow me to put embossing ink on mixed media like a canvas, or maybe if you have a project like maybe a mini book or a chipboard cover that you just want to put clear enamel over the whole thing, this will allow you to evenly apply your embossing ink, because when you take your ink pad and you do this, you always get big goops, too much ink because you're pressing it down. This will allow you to kind of go around the whole surface. But also, if you do say chipboard shapes or die cuts, I can now go around the edges of that, so when I put clear powder, it enamels everything. It does. And if you have big stamps too, big background stamps, great way to just quickly go over it, put your embossing ink and stamp it. So yeah, I was happy we brought this to the market.
Awesome.
I know, it's cool. It's really good.